So far in Git and GitHub, we have seen Git architecture and the way to work in a local repository by converting a current working directory into Git directory or Git working directory, then creating some files inside the current working directory and adding these files into the index and then committing these files into the local repository. So local repository. So that means we know how to work in our local repository, which is inside our local machine. So now after that, once that is done, then we jumped into the GitHub. So then we have created some repositories there. Then we have created organization teams, and then inside that a repository we have added the files and we have changed the files. So we know how to work on a remote repository also. So now it is time to bring up together. So bring both together from local. It's time to connect a local a local repository to the remote repository. So how we are going to connect? If you are excited to know about this, just brace yourself for the complete full level action. So how Git and GitHub collaborate? So a collaboration between a local machine, Git GitHub makes a lot of fantastic things possible that we are going to see now. So before we begin, one thing I want to make sure that when we say master branch, it doesn't mean you will have a master branch and then slave branch, master slave concept. No, a big no. There is no master slave concept. There is a master version concept. A master will have, it could be a master branch or it could be main branch. It is, you can change it to any name. I'll show it. I'll show it. So git. So let me clear the screen. If you see, this is our master branch. If you want to see clearly, I'll show it. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Where I am? Why not dot git? Okay, it's there. Cat git head. You see, this is master branch. At this moment, the branch name is master. Now I will save it as a slave. Just for fun, nothing else. You can do, you can put any, you can give any name to that. It doesn't matter. It has become a slave. See now, it has become a slave. I'll make it that too as a Krishna slave or Krishna. You see, it became a Krishna. Now I'll make it Shiva. These are all our historical figures of India. Shiva. So you see that? It's Shiva now. That's what I'm saying. There is no master. It doesn't, when you say master means it will have some functionality. No, not at all. It's just for reference purpose. Either you can call it master or main branch. It doesn't matter. Okay. There is no master slave kind of concept. Then the master branch only exist locally, and the master branch which is there in the remote repository is different, and this is different. They are not same, though the name is same. They are not same until unless you do some pull fetch or commit push. Until unless you do these things and make them same, they are never same, although their names are same. So let's take this example and we'll see. My first question is, we will see you have a remote repository and you have a local repository. Are they connected? Will they be connected? If they are connected, if they will be connected, how will you connect them? That's my question. Okay. Until unless there is no connection between a local repository and a remote repository, you cannot do anything. So how it is possible now? So let's demonstrate that example now. So for that, what we are going to do is we will create a local repository, and similarly we'll create a remote repository. Local repository, we will commit 3 commits, and similarly in a remote repository also we will commit 3 commits. Then we will see whether they are same or not. If they are not same, how to connect them? Because they are not connected, that's the reason they are not same. Then how to connect them? That's the next question, obviously. So how to connect them? So that we will see now. Okay, let me get into Git bash here. I'll keep on this side only so that you can see the figure. Let me clear the screen and then make it little bigger. Now this much of is enough. CD, I'll come out. ls, again cd, I'll come out ls. Now I will say this exercise name is mkdir git github colab. Then cd git github colab. So now see, there is nothing inside that directory. So now what I'm gonna do is, first we will initialize a local repository. Okay, then after that, first we will do all the settings in a local repository because we are presently in our local machine. So I will do git initialization. Okay, you want to check ls option a also? Yeah, there is nothing, no git. Now I am gonna initialize git. So git initialization is done. Now you can check. Yes, dot git, and the branch name is master. Okay, branch name is master. Now let's start our commits. As usual, here in local repository we are going to put programming files as usual. I would say touch mod.py, git add dot git commit, and message and a. Done. Now let's give git log graph decorate all. Okay, your commit a is ready. Then touch template dot packer, git add git commit message b. So we got the 2 commits. Now let us tag both the commits. Okay, we'll commit all at a time. That's fine. Then what we have, okay, one more file. This time touch index dot html, git add, then git commit message, and it is c. Done. So now let's add tags. Let's tag all these commits. So git tag option a, and it's capital A. Okay, capital A is this, right? Yes, see. Then after that, what we have? M, and again we'll put capital A. Git tag. Okay, let me B. Here it is. Let me scroll a bit up. Okay, rest all same. Then third one. Third is this. Yeah. Then C. So all done. A, B, C. Presently it is pointing at the master of local repository. So this is local repository. Done. So our local repository is done. See, you see, taxi master is a taxi. This is the recent commit. So now let us get into our remote repository. You see that? You see here? This is our remote repo. Let me get into the remote repo. So this is our GitHub account. Let me click here and click on your repositories. After your repositories, let me click on new repositories. So in new repository, I'm gonna name it as the same name that I have given here. What's that name? Where it is here. The name is GitHub colab. I would say GitHub colab. So same name. Now this is to experiment and prove the Git and GitHub collaboration. Done. Let me keep it public. So add a readme file. No, not required. We will add other files. We will add our own files. Create a repository. Done. So now, okay, copy this and put it in sticky note. Okay. So let's start committing codes here. Let's create a new file. So file name here we will use article.word file. Done. Let me commit the changes. So commit. Here we are going to give the same commit messages. Yeah, and click. Done. Article.word, and you can see that. And let us add one more file. So add file. Here business.ppt, sample business ppt template. So let me commit this also. I would call B the commit message and commit it. Then let's Let's create one more file and commit that file also, and this time it is .png, image.png. This is sample image. So commit. Oh, no. Okay, commit with it's been committed without a message. That's okay. So you have three files here. This is remote repo. Let me put side by side, and then you see that this is a local repo and this is a remote repo. I'll click on view code. Yeah. So these three files are here, and sorry, that's the wrong place. Clear LSL. Three files are here, and three files are here. You see here, index mod template article business.ppt. Now my question comes. The same question I will ask again. There is nothing much difference in question. Remote repo with three commits, local repo with three commits. Now how will you connect these two? One is remote, it's somewhere in the GitHub. You do not know on which server your files has been stored, and you have three files in your local machine, that my local machine. So how can I connect these two? Answer my question. How can we connect these two? How can we? Let me connect it and show. So get back to this. So as it says, you have two options. You can add remote repositories with the git remote add command. Okay, let's use git remote add command to add remote repository with local repository. Let me bring up. So this is the I'll keep it here. I'll type. Okay, this is master and that is main branch name. You see, this is master branch and this one is main. That's what I was saying. Master doesn't mean it's master, it's slave. No, it's just for namesake. Master and main. That's it. You can say base code, source code, uh, prime branch, origin branch, whatever you want. So here I will change the name first. Git branch I would say main. Sorry, that's my fault. So now it's become main. So now this is main and this is also main. So now I have to make the connection between remote repository of this one and remote repository this one and local repository this one. So let us make that connection using git remote add and alias name, the pet name or sweet name or cute name that you want to call the remote repo. What is it? Do you want to give any specific name? If you don't want to give any specific name, you can by default you can take origin. Okay, because that's where it comes. Then bring up the http URL and paste it here. So now it's time to execute. So I hope the connection had been made. the connection had been made. So what will we do now is, let me check git status, nothing to commit, working tree clean. Now let's use git log graph decorate list and see what it's gonna show. So you see that as usual you have 3 commits. We have just established a connection between local and remote repository, but nothing we have done till now. Neither we pushed nor we pulled. Because if you see here you have 3 files, and if you see the remote repo, you have 3 files. This is article. These are Word, PPT, PNG file. These are HTML, Python, Packer files. There is no connection at all. Now, how to make the connection? Okay. So we have made a connection, but how to integrate from one to another? That we will see in our next slide. So this one we have proved it. So how to make a connection between remote repository and local repository? So that has been done. Now when you check out a branch that only exists as a remote tracking branch but not as a local branch, Git automatically creates the local branch from the remote tracking branch and checks this one out. Let's see the infographic now. So you have a remote repository on left, local repository on right. So as usual, 3 commits on left we have done it, and 3 commits on right we have done it. So that's a local repository. Now, first, before I push all my code into remote repository, what I have to do is I have to fetch whatever is there inside the remote repo. Once I integrate all the files which are there inside the remote repo into my local repo, then only I can push into the remote repo. So that's what I can do. But how can I get all the files which are there inside the remote repo? That's my question. That is using fetch, the command, using the fetch command. Got it here? So once you have that, you can merge the contents of the remote branch into your own branch. So you can see that in this figure, this checks out into the local master branch, but that does not basically main. We have changed into a main now. So but that does not need to be the case. So you can merge it into another branch with a common history. That's okay. That's all fine. Okay, that we'll see that the checkout, that we will see that. But for now, we have to fetch from here. How can we do that? What do you want to do? Let's do fetch and merge, or directly pull. Which is better for you? Let's go with the that. Did you remember fetch plus pull is nothing but fetch it and merge it. So in spite of fetching and merging, let's use a pull directly. So git pull, I'd say origin, because that's the alias we have given. Origin, that's more than enough. So now we are pulling. Basically we are pulling, but what's the issue here? Okay, enumerating objects 9 done, all done, but it's showing some issues. No, that's not the issues. Let me clear the screen before I pull and integrate remote repository with the local repository. Let me clear the screen first. Yes, now it's time to give git pull and space and URL, copy and paste. Let's execute it. Here it is, git pull remote. It has pulled all the files from there and branch head, and it became a fetch head. Okay, so let us check the files now. ls. Okay, here it is. You got business.ppt, index.html. So let's continue with our exercise. So now so we have to, so once completely we pulled all the data from remote repo into local repo. Now it's time to check out to the new version, so new branch. Let's create new branch and we'll check out to the new branch, and then we will see how many files has been transferred to the new branch. Okay, so we'll continue the same exercise. It's here. So let me check list. You can see all the files are there. Of course, all the files are there. Now let me give git branch and branch name version 1. So let me check. So branch has been created. You can check the git log, of course, that's fine. So branch has been created. Now let me check out git checkout version 1. Now you see that if you see version 1, you will find all the files. ls. So even in version 1, all the files has been pushed. So now let me check the head git, sorry, cat git head. You see head is pointing towards version 1, and you see here version 1. So now in version 1, we are in version 1 repo, local repo, or in version 1 branch. You see all the files. That means all the commits has been, even from the remote repo and a local repo of the main branch, everything has been transferred to the version 1, and then head is pointing towards the version 1 also. So with this, we have done with this exercise.